How does the second half of the season shape your outlook for even beyond this year? Moving mid-season is one thing. Moving in the summer is maybe something else.
You got to ask front office about that. I mean, I never planned on leaving or moving, getting traded. I didn't ask for a trade from Phoenix. But obviously, when you pay so much for a team and we're not playing up to our expectation, and somebody has to go, So, you probably should check in with those guys in the front office throughout the rest of the season and see how they feel about the team. I know that I'm going to keep trying to bring my best every single day, and I let the higher-ups focus on what's next.
It's Kevin Durant with Malika Andrews yesterday on ESPN. You're over there shaking your head. I see you.
I almost feel bad for KD.
Really? Tell me why. I'm not disagreeing with you, but tell me why.
I just feel bad. I feel bad that it didn't work. I feel bad that you came here and with championship aspirations, and it hasn't worked. And you formed a big three, and there's been a lot of injuries, especially to Beal, and post playoff failure. And guys, one of the greatest players I've ever seen. This is not like failing with Shaquille O'Neal. This is not like failing with Emmitt Smith. Failing with Kevin Durant is failing with one of the best players that's ever played the game, and it's still at the highest level.
Yeah,
he's having a great year. So I almost feel bad. That it hasn't worked because, no knock on him. He's incredible to watch. It's incredible to watch him play.
Yeah,
I'm always fascinated by his ability to make. Every time he goes up for a shot, if he misses, I'm almost like, I can't believe he missed.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, I feel worse for us, and I don't mean media, I mean fans. I feel worse for us as fans that one of the greatest players of this or any generation came through our doors for 2 years and it didn't work. None of it worked. It was just blindingly mediocre, and that's not all Kevin's fault. I feel bad that I can't believe that 2 years has already come and gone. It's been 2 years since he's been here. They've accomplished next to nothing. It's almost staggering to think that you've had one of the best players in the history of the game on your team for 2 years and you've been able to do nothing. So I've
teamed up with another guy who may go down as the best Suns player ever, who's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and they're not winning.
I get where you're saying, where you feel for him, because clearly it's not like he's the one driving this story. It's not he's driving the narrative of wanting to leave. He kind of sounds hurt and disappointed a little bit. I don't know why this didn't work. And hey, you have to go talk to them. And it's not really up to me. I wanted to finish this out and finish the year.
You ever have friends that got divorced?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't you feel? And usually one of them makes the decision, not both together, right?
Yes.
Don't you usually feel bad for the one that was told, I want a divorce?
Depends on the circumstances, but the one who gets told the news I don't want to be married to you anymore. It does depend on the circumstances, though, when it comes to that. I've known
you usually feel bad for that one more.
A few couples friends. Yeah, there was one couple friend in particular where it didn't. The flow of sympathy didn't exactly go that way, but I understand what you're trying to say.
There was okay, go ahead.
So this is Udonis Haslam.
Yes.
Same program yesterday, reacting to what he just heard Kevin Durant say with Malika Andrews. And his exact reaction was, oh, yeah, he's gone.
He out of there. He out of there when the summertime come. I mean, anytime you start referring to the front office as them and the higher ups and the guys upstairs, then that means there's a disconnect, because it's usually we and us. So if you're not using those words, then we in the locker room understands what that means. You have separated yourself from the front office. And if you separate yourself from the front office, eventually they're going to separate you from the locker room.
Yeah. But he's not wrong. It's not wrong.
In the story, they talk about, and I didn't read much into this, but maybe some people that are in the game, read into it a little bit more. Haslam said he thinks Durant's gone because anytime you start referring to the front office as them and the higher ups, the cut you just played,
the cut I just played.
And I didn't read into that when we first heard it, when we first read it. I didn't really, because we talked about Durant's cuts yesterday, and I didn't really think about it like that. That if you talk in terms of, instead of us, you talk in terms of them, that it actually means something.
I didn't think about it like that. I interpreted tone. And Kevin Durant's tone let me know that he knows he's not going to be on this team any longer than past the summer. You know what I mean? Like I'll play the soundbite again from Kevin Durant. Well, no, I won't. It's a little bit longer. But if you just listen to his answer, his answer, okay, forget about the them and kind of that separation that Haslam is talking about. If you listen to Kevin Durant's tone, it's what prompted you to say you felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're reacting to his tone was one of, oh man, I kind of feel bad for that guy. Why? Because he sounds sad. He sounds disappointed. He sounds bummed. He sounds like it failed.
I'm sure this is the first time that somebody was like, we don't want you. Usually it's, I want out of Oklahoma City. I want out of Golden State. I want out of Brooklyn. This is the first time in his career that somebody has basically said, look, we got to part ways.
And Gambo, that's why, and you know this because you were right in the middle of all of these trade talks and all these trade conversations 2 weeks ago. That's why it continues to send these shockwaves through the NBA. The Suns were about to trade Kevin Durant without his blessing.
Yes.
And as juvenile as that might sound, and I couldn't come up with a better word, but it's like there's part of you that hears that and goes, yes, so what, man? You're an NBA player. Deal with it. That's life. As juvenile as that sounds, for the exact reason you just said a second ago, that's why it's a big deal.
Yeah.
That it's a big deal because it's always him saying, I want to break up with you.
Yes.
Wait, you want to break up with me?
Why?
I'm Kevin Durant. And not that he's like some arrogant, but you know what I mean? Like it's nobody ever wants to break up with me. I always want to break up with you. And it was the tone of his answer that led me to believe, oh yeah, he's done. He's done. He's going to get traded this offseason. And now
barring a miraculous run
through
the final 28 games and through the playoffs,
which Udonis Haslam believes is not going to happen.
We understand where this is going. I got to agree with Perk. I was a little bit hesitant, but this has been a failed project. This just has not worked out for the front office. This hasn't worked out for KD. He's not happy. I'm sure Book's not happy. This has not worked out for anybody. Nobody is happy with this situation right now.
Like to the point
How can you be?
To the point where we read a story, we both had it in our emails. There's a story that we'll talk about a little later about kind of like the off-season game plan for every team in the NBA. I laughed out loud when they mentioned giving Kevin Durant a contract extension. And I know they only mention it because they had to mention it, like he's eligible for it. But that's like the last thing on my mind. I think it's the last thing on anybody's mind.
But it was always the plan, right? The plan was,
of course.
And I've told you what the plan was. The plan was that, when Steph Curry got his 1 year deal, a lot of people asked, will Durant get a 1 year deal? And I checked on it, and it was Durant wanted to wait. He wanted to wait, finish out this season, and then sign a 2 year deal. Finished his career in Phoenix, 3 years with Phoenix. So starting with 25, 26, that would be the first, and then 2 more years after that, and then call it a career and not play anymore after that. And now, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now that's not going to happen. So, would the Suns have been better off if they just did the 1 year deal? Would it be easier to trade him? I still think that they're not going to have any problem trading Kevin Durant.
I don't think they are either.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.